This is Corolla Digital.
Hello, my little scoops of ambrosia. It's me, Alison. Here is part 2 of the Eli Braden episode. Please love it, and then tell everyone you know. And then, you know what you should do? If you haven't already gotten the special live episode of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend live from LA Podcast Festival with Greg Proops and Doug Benson, that is now finally, after an insane journey, which one day I will feel comfortable speaking about, maybe. That is finally in the iTunes store. It's $1.99. You can find it in the comedy album section. So, you know, if you want, treat yourself or someone else. But mostly you. And go get that. Okay. I love you guys. Here's the episode.
Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her the good times never end. Alison Rosen. Your new best friend. We'll always be good friends. Mm-hmm. You know, we have a good supportive relationship with each other. We really do. But you know, people grow apart.
Is that what it was or is?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. And I mean, I guess if I had to synopsize it, if that's a word, we have very different value systems. Mm-hmm. And I always kind of this might just be like half glass full thinking. I always kind of thought like opposites attract, opposites complement each other. Us having different value systems is good because we will complement each other that way. But it really, in the real world, that's not what happens. It's like we just really have drastically different value systems. And it manifests itself on really petty levels too. I mean, like really small things like, you know, I like to keep the house cleaner. And she really doesn't care. I wouldn't say she's a slob at all, but that's not important to her. It's very important to me. So like if I feel like I'm putting a lot of effort in to keeping things nice. And you know, it's like that those kind of little resentments build over time. That seems so petty, but it goes from that kind of thing up to like the huge things like how do we spend our days, you know, how vacations, what is that, you know, where does money fit into our scheme, how we spend our money, you know.
What are the different values?
I mean, that's, you know, without getting into too much specifics, it's just kind of on everything. We just are very different people. And it's like, I mean, I don't really place any value in astrology because I don't know. I mean, maybe astrology, there is some truth to it. I mean, because maybe the ancients knew things we don't know. I mean, you look at how the tides are affected by the moon, right? The ocean affected amazingly. You know, we're composed of whatever, 90% water, 60% water. I don't know. Maybe there's something to astrological stuff. I don't know. I'm an Aquarius. When I read what it says about Aquarians, I'm like, this kind of resonates for me. This is kind of who I am. My wife is a Scorpio. When I read what it says about Scorpios, that's totally what she is. Now, when you look at the compatibility charts, literally the two signs that get along the worst
are those
two. And it's like the problems they say. If an Aquarius with a Scorpio will always have these problems, these issues will always be there. And like I said, I don't know if I really believe in that or not, but maybe it's just a huge coincidence. But that is true for us. These things, we're just very different people. And
Was there a honeymoon period for? Well, I mean, obviously there had to have been.
Yeah, I mean, it was great for a long time. It was.
Did these things crop up?
Those things were always there, though. But I think it's like, you know, earlier on in a relationship, I think you can put that stuff aside much easier, you know. But I think as you get older and you start to look at, you know, I've got this much time left on Earth. Is this really the way I want to spend it with this person? You know, you start to maybe reevaluate and say maybe we should do it. Maybe we should do a change, and maybe if we're going to do a change, we should do it now. You know,
right?
But yeah,
was there arguing? A lot of arguing.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, definitely. Which I don't want to do. I don't want to spend my time doing that. You know.
Yeah.
It's like even now. I mean, we have arguments over things, and then I always am. We're both very quick to be like, why are we doing this? We're moving on. It's like we don't need to keep having these same fights we've been having for the last 12 years or whatever. You know, let's just not fight. Let's just get along. Let's just accept we're different people. We have different values, and we're not going to convince each other that I'm right or you're right or whatever. So let's just be cool with each other.
Do you think that you guys have, and excuse this potentially insensitive question coming from someone who's never been married, do you think that you guys have changed in the course of the marriage, or do you think in retrospect it wasn't the right pairing?
Well, I think it wasn't the right pairing. But that really, I mean, that's such a tough thing to say as a parent, because it's like when you have these kids and you're like, wow, when you have kids together and you're like, I mean, she's such a great mom and I'm such an awesome dad, truly. Like I couldn't imagine it any other way. Yeah. But, we were not a good match, And I think that happens a lot. I think it happens. I think it's very common that people, because I mean, love is a fucked up thing. I think Shakespeare said that actually.
Yeah. Or
maybe it was Sting.
I think they both. I think all true artists have said that in some way.
Yeah.
From Shakespeare to Sting.
Yeah.
What was your dating history like before?
A lot. Well, I was a musician. I had like one super. When I was in high school, like one girl that I was super crazy about, and like she totally broke my heart. And then I was like, okay, I don't need to ever do that again. So then it was just like a series of like one night stands, and anytime anybody would try to get too close, I'd be like, okay, that's done. And like honestly, not to sound arrogant, but like with my wife, like she was just very persistent, and I was just like, come on, we had sex, let's just forget it. But she was really. I don't know why. I don't really think I'm that great. Apparently she did at the time.
Everything you said on the podcast up to now would suggest that you do think you're great.
Yeah, I kind of do. But as far as being a partner, I don't think I'm the greatest partner in the world. No, I mean, she, for whatever reason, I mean, we fell in love with each other at a certain point, and it was just like we had a lot of issues with each other, but, we kept soldiering on. And on and on and on.
I'm going to sneeze.
That's okay.
Oh, wait, maybe I'm not.
You're just sneezing to avoid the tears that my
I'm
sad story
is eliciting. No, okay, well, so she was persistent. If she...
This was a long time ago, though, by the way.
If she had read the signs, would she have... But obviously, there was something going on that made her continue to pursue or be persistent, right?
Yeah,
obviously, she knew that you actually liked her.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did. Yeah, absolutely, and I loved her. I mean, I was kind of a guy who was like, I'm not interested in. I was young, and I was like, I'm not interested in a relationship. It was more like it wasn't about her. It was about I'm not interested in having a relationship with somebody, probably ever. That was the way I saw my life, and then all of a sudden, it's like, wow. I've been married for almost 10 years and I have 2 kids, and now the marriage is over and I'm back to where I was all those years ago. Like now I'm not in a relationship. So I'm sure, I think a lot of people, maybe I'm wrong. I think a lot of people when their marriage ends, a lot of dudes anyway are like, I'm never getting married again. Yeah. Probably a lot of women too. But at the same time, I kind of feel like I will definitely get married again at some point. But right now, I feel like no, never. But
what is making you feel like you definitely will?
Because I think there's something really comforting about it, and I think it's a really beautiful thing in a lot of ways, and it's like it's a very flawed institution that was sort of created out of society's need to stabilize people, and it came from I mean, it was, you can look at the history of, I mean, it's a very,
it's not romantic.
It's a very pragmatic thing, marriage, and it's kind of an outdated institution, it's an outdated idea. At the same time, there's something really pure and beautiful about having a partner and about being, together. I mean, we weren't originally supposed to live as long as we live now. We were evolving as a race, and so we have to sort of adapt our institutions to reflect that. And it's weird, but I don't know. I mean, I could see doing it again.
How are your friends taking it, or how is it affecting you guys and your friends? Like, because I imagine you have a lot of shared friends.
We sort of divvied them up.
That's good. How did you do it?
I kept the cool ones.
Right. Well, I think, God, we could do Just Me or Everyone, or you could play a song. Which do you feel like doing? Do you feel like hearing other people's quirks?
Let's hear other people's quirks for a minute.
Let's do some Just Me or Everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
All right, Daryl Holtz says, I gorge myself on pizza or Chinese, hide the evidence in the oven, then preheat the oven later and almost burn down the apartment. I have never done that, but I can totally relate to that.
Why does he hide it in the oven?
That's what I would want to know as well.
And if his
Who's
name
he
is,
hiding it from?
is he hiding it from John Oates? Because his name is Daryl Holtz.
Right, maybe.
That's odd.
Yeah. Well, but obviously, I mean, there's someone he is hiding it from. So.
Well, because he doesn't want to put it in the trash. He would put it in the trash.
Right, because someone would see that.
Who wouldn't look in the oven? Let's see. Who's the one person who wouldn't look in the oven in his house? Assuming he lives with people.
Right. Or maybe, I mean, a pizza box sometimes won't fit in the trash if you have a small trash.
That's true.
Right. So, I don't know. Who's the one person who wouldn't look in the oven? Sounds like a riddle.
It does. And he's also... What is his avatar picture? Says lion smell?
Lion Steel?
Oh, lion steel. Okay.
Oh, like Lion Steel. But it's Lionsteel.
Oh, lie and steel.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Daryl, we're going to need more information.
Yeah, that's weird, dude.
Yeah.
Just throw your stuff out.
Well, but I can relate to, so we discussed earlier that I go through Splenda pretty quickly.
Yeah.
'Cause
Four per cup.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Gary.
Oh, Gary forgot her coffee.
Yeah.
You poor thing.
I'm going to fire him.
No wonder your energy's been so low.
No.
I'm
is it
just
really?
kidding.
I'm very, very sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, it's an honest mistake. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's totally okay. You have
doing lines in
important
here, dude.
show
Don't worry.
things to do. So what did I do? I had gone through like a big thing of, I had all these packets, and for some reason I felt really self-conscious about putting my trash, which was comprised mostly of empty Splenda packets, like a little yellow ticker tape parade, into the trash that I shared with my landlord, who lived above me. So I
You didn't
remember,
want him to see it?
Yeah, no. For some reason, I don't know why. Although the funny thing is that, like, for Christmas that year, my birthday, they gave me this really thoughtful book of Splenda recipes. So I think they knew, you know. But,
You're the Splenda girl
yeah, I guess.
in that
I mean,
house.
now I use trivia sometimes, but but I'm trying to think what I did. I don't know. I just know that I like concealed all the packets kind of in the bottom of the trash.
Sure. No, I do that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, this is so stupid, but I didn't vote yesterday because I realized I hadn't registered to vote. I stopped by the voting place and I was like, I should be on the list. I wasn't on there, so they were like, well, here's a provisional ballot. So they gave me the provisional ballot. And they were like, okay, you can fill this in and give it to... I was like, actually, I was in a huge hurry. I was like, actually, I'm going to go home and fill it out and I'll drop it off later on when I'm on my way to pick up my kids. I forgot to do it. So anyway, I...
Forgot to do it. Sounds like you just did.
No, I legitimately forgot
Okay.
to do it when I went to pick up my kids
Right.
later. But then I was like, I put the provisional ballot in the trash, and like later on, I was putting something else in the trash, and I saw it sitting on top, and I was like, I better just push that down, just in
Yeah.
case somebody sees that and was like, wait a minute, what is this provisional
Right.
ballot? Did you not vote? I don't know who that would be, but at least I didn't put the provisional ballot in the oven.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I do a lot. When I think about it, I do a lot of strategic throwing away of things and whatnot. But seriously, who's looking through our trash? No one, really.
No,
But-
unless you're Bob Dylan in 1965.
Which I very well might be.
You might be.
Yeah.
You might be.
All right. Josh Bagosh, so annoyed when someone is playing with their phone and the volume is cranked to the highest setting. Well, yes, I think everyone's annoyed by that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're nothing special, Josh.
Benny Bronham.
I sort of wish his Twitter handle was Josh Gosh Bagosh. You know, like Oshkosh?
Yeah. Yeah. That's just you.
That's just me.
Okay. Oshkosh is a place, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's some overalls.
Yeah.
But,
It's
yeah.
in Wisconsin, right?
Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Benny Bronham, when I'm typing and I get a word wrong, I delete the whole word before retyping as punishment to myself.
That's a good one.
I do that, but I don't, not as punishment. It's more because, well, this is if it's on an iPhone or something. Sometimes it's just easier to delete the whole word than to try to like do the surgical deletion of a couple
He's doing it as
characters.
punishment to himself. He's definitely Catholic. That's like some weird Catholic OCD
Right,
shit.
right.
Obsessive Catholic disorder.
Exactly.
possibly.
Yeah. Adam Carolla, but not the Adam Carolla. It's some other spelling of Adam Carolla.
It's some clever parody account.
That's right. Resist the urge to scream when the grocery store line isn't moving. I have that, but what I have is I resist. Okay, if I'm in a grocery store or a bookstore or anywhere where I'm trying to find something or I want to know what time it is and for some reason I don't have a timepiece on me, I feel like why can't I just yell out my question and have people answer? Like, why can't I be like, where are the biographies?
Right.
Or like, is the zucchini?
Yeah, but you don't really have to. You really would never do that. You're not really actively. You feel like you should want to. You're not
I don't think I
resisting
would
the
ever
urge. Like he
actually
says,
do
he's
it.
resisting the urge
Yeah.
to scream. You're not really having
No,
to,
but I
trying to
feel like
resist.
in who knows what, just a few more things could happen and I'd be the person. Or like if I remember I was walking by a new restaurant and I wanted to yell, "Is it any good?" Like I just feel like you should be able to crowdsource.
That will
everything.
happen at some point. I bet
Yeah.
we'll have everything in our brains. You'll just be able to say it out loud. I would just have some advice for him too. If you want to avoid the long lines, never go to a male checkout guy. They're always slower.
Interesting.
Always avoid older people.
Yeah.
'Cause-
In line
in
or
lines,
yes.
because they're going to be paying. They're going to take longer. Obviously, just always do a quick scan. Always go for like young people in their early 20s.
So you'd go for the early 20s with more groceries than versus like the old person in line with only a couple
With the
things?
woman checkout who knows who looks like she knows what she's doing.
Yes.
With the person in their early 20s who's obviously going to pay with an ATM card and they're going to have it all done before the last item goes through. Definitely. I used to not be for euthanasia, and then I got in line behind an old woman who was paying with check.
Oh God.
And she didn't even take her checkbook out of her purse until she was told the total. And I was just like, man, come on. Time to just...
And we talk about that on the Adam Carolla show sometimes. It's like, you don't have that much time left. Why
No,
are you wasting
right.
it?
This mortal coil is not long
Yeah.
for this world, so...
It's sloughing.
Just pull the checkbook out early.
Yeah. I always marvel at the people who seem to have personal relationships with the grocery checkers.
Right?
Like, what? Because I go to the same grocery stores repeatedly. I recognize them, and I assume they probably recognize me, but we don't have small talk.
Right.
And there's one in particular who seems to know everyone else, but not me. But like, I just remember someone was telling her that, they took their, they just had taken their. They're always talking about someone else. There's always a third party that they're bonding over.
Yeah, and how do they even know the other third person?
I don't
That's one thing if you
know.
have a rapport with your grocery person.
Yeah, the third party that they were talking about had horses, and someone came over there, and one of the horses was sick, and blah blah blah. And I'm like,
I find it hard to believe that a checkout counter worker even knows somebody who has horses.
that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what was going on. Except that this is over in Burbank. So there's sort of a Rancho Equestrian district.
Okay,
where
okay.
apparently just anyone can ride a horse. That sounds huge. Snobby, not just Anne Romney.
By the way, if you're an Alison Rosen stalker, she shops in Burbank, so that's a little clue as to where you live.
Yeah, well, no, it's near the studio.
Oh, okay,
Actually, one time I pulled up in my car, and then I don't know what I did, but it was like 10 minutes, or not that long, but a while before I got out of my car. 'Cause
I
was
heard that on the Andrew WK podcast. You talked about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was. Yeah. So for anyone who didn't hear that one, real fast.
No,
I got out.
everybody listens to all of your podcasts.
I
Go
like
ahead.
to think so.
Yes.
I got out of the car and there was a guy standing there and he said, "Allison?" And he recognized me, which was really flattering, but I felt uncomfortable thinking he's been standing there because he said he saw me driving in and he just had to say hi. So he had been standing there watching me
Waiting.
tweet or whatever
Yeah.
the hell I was doing. So, yeah. Okay. Mitch Serp. Oh, wait, no, let's go back to groceries for 1 second.
Okay.
I don't like the self-checkout line.
Why
because
not?
I feel like something's not going to work, and then it's going to take a while to get them over, and it's
That
just going
does
to be a
happen.
pain.
Plus,
yeah.
if you ever buy booze, that always ends up taking a while. So,
Yeah.
if you're not buying booze, though, it's good. But you know what's great is that you can you can buy the quality fruits and vegetables and just charge yourself for the cheaper ones.
Oh, really?
Look, I spend a lot of money at Ralph's. I'm going to get the organic apple, and I'm going to get charged for the gala that's on sale.
That is
I'm a bad
reminding
person.
me. That's reminding me of a criminal act I committed, which is when I lived in New York. I completely forgot about my fancy mushroom phase, which does not involve hallucinogens. It involves shiitake mushrooms. I like loved them for a period of time. I put Splenda on them once.
Oh my God!
Or
Would you cook them? Would you
5,000
cook them
times.
yourself?
I would microwave them.
Wow.
You'd think it would be disgusting. I can do a lot with a microwave.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that anyone else would enjoy what I make, but I like it. So anyway, I haven't had a shiitake mushroom in quite some time. But the shiitake mushrooms are much more expensive than your button mushroom
Right.
or your white mushroom. And I remember the woman was checking them out, and she said something like, "Are these oyster or whatever? Are these some cheaper mushroom?" Or maybe she just rang it up that way. No, I think she asked, because I felt guilty.
You had that moment where you could make a decision.
I could have said, no, those are a lot more expensive
Yeah.
than what because she was
Right.
looking at the code. And I just allowed her
Yeah.
to type in the cheaper
Yeah.
thing. So should I not feel bad about it?
I wouldn't. I mean, I do.
Obviously,
stuff
I wasn't bothered by it because I forgot until now.
Yeah, and you're willing to admit it too. So I mean, if you'd murdered someone, you probably wouldn't be talking about it on the podcast. Like, oh, I forgot about that till just now. So it can't be that bad.
Yeah. Actually, see, I pretty much torture myself over things I've done that I feel bad about, which is if I've done anything that I think was unfair, or that, if someone was upset.
Like if you've mistreated someone in
Yes.
your mind.
Yeah, I really feel bad about that. And I was just thinking about something that's fairly minor and feeling bad about it and thinking, thank God I haven't done anything. This is in light of watching Sopranos.
Right.
Thank God I haven't done anything really horrible, or I think I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
Right. Yet. You haven't done anything really horrible yet.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what, like, the average horrible things people have done are.
It always surprises me. I think everybody has different moral codes. I mean, it's just the most benign seeming person, then you find out they're
A monster?
stealing or cheating or whatever. It's just insane things that you find out people do, and it's like, I would have never guessed that person would
Right.
have done that.
Right. Hubeck. Turn off light before opening door to leave bathroom. Wonder if people think I was using the bathroom in the dark. No, I don't ever worry about that. I think it's just you.
He turns off the light before he opens the door to leave the bathroom. Oh, and then he wonders if people think that he was using the bathroom.
Yeah.
I think he's just conserving energy. Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
I don't think... I'm trying to think if I've ever noticed someone enter or exit a dark bathroom. I wouldn't think anything of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. F this ish. Is it just me, but when I realize that I've had my turn signal on for 4 blocks, it reminds me of my parents and I feel old. It doesn't remind me of my parents, but I think, wow, the clicking of the signal just kind of lulled me into completely forgetting that I had it on.
Yeah, I just always blast. I always have something blasting, so I can forgive myself.
Yeah.
It is annoying, though. It is annoying. I mean,
When other people do it?
when other people do it, so I do feel bad when I do that.
Yeah, I always have my music up, so the clicking doesn't really stop me, but I always feel like a huge asshole and will oftentimes, if possible, change lanes in that direction
Just
as I turn it
just
off.
to
To cash
manifest.
in your signal?
Yeah, I feel like the person behind me deserves it.
even if it inconveniences them.
Yeah, or me. Or, either way.
Right.
Right.
It's good. You pay it off. Damian Burns, just or everyone. I think you mean just me or everyone. When parking my car, I always park next to a newer car so mine won't get broken into or stolen. I never do that, although that's smart, except that sometimes it's the crappy older cars that get stolen the most.
Is car thievery really that big a deal?
I've never had my car stolen, luckily, but I know a lot of people who've had that problem.
Really?
Yeah, multiple times even. Like this guy that works here. Gary, how many times has Matt had his car stolen? Do you know?
Matt Fondelier?
Yeah. Did you not know about this?
Yeah, no.
I think he had an Acura Integra and it got stolen more than once. Or he
Wow.
had more than one Acura Integra stolen or something.
Sounds like he's being punked.
Yeah.
Wow, he's just got horrible luck because he had his car totaled, parked on the street in front of his house a few months back, too.
Some people weren't meant to drive, evidently.
He'll be dead soon.
Probably.
This cannot end well. This life.
I know. And then aforementioned boyfriend of mine had his car stolen a while ago.
Your current boyfriend?
My current boyfriend, yeah. And that was a what was it?
Was that the pickup truck, the white supremacist guy, or?
No,
Your boyfriend's a white supremacist?
Yes. No. I accidentally dated a white pride guy. I went on 2 dates with him.
Accidentally.
It was an accident.
I believe you, but it's still so funny every time you say it.
Are you Jewish?
Yes.
Did he know you were Jewish?
Yeah, that's why it was so weird to me. The whole thing was, it did not fit into any sort of scenario.
My love for you transcends my racism.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't even admit that he was racist. The whole thing
You got to be careful. He might try to hide you in the oven. Call back.
I know. Actually, when we were thinking who wouldn't look in an oven,
Yeah.
an array of those kind of jokes popped in my head, but I decided not to make them because I just couldn't find a funny enough one to warrant
You
it.
knew that I would come through at some point.
That's why I handed that to you.
Thank you.
Because you would do it.
You get the assist.
Yeah, thank you.
You would
yeah, so, I was playing in a band at the time.
Really? I don't know about this.
I used to be in a band called the Angoras. You would not have heard of us.
I think I have.
Okay. It's possible you would have, but I don't think so. Oh, wait, we played... When did you move out of San Francisco?
Were you in L.A.?
Yes. This is years ago. It's before I moved to New York.
Okay.
This
maybe
was
not.
In the late 90s.
Okay, maybe not. I don't know,
Oh,
though. What kind of music was it?
Girl punk rock. Poppy.
Wow, that's cool.
Thank you. We played at what's it called? Stinky's Peep Show, the Covered Wagon, up in San Francisco.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we were playing at this big, like the Sun Theater in Anaheim, which coincidentally for Adam Carolla fans is, I think, now the Grove in Anaheim. But it was this big all-day indoor festival. And I was drunk, and he was a stagehand, and he was really flirtatious and also cute. And so then we decided to hang out after the show, which seemed fine, but sort of ill-advised. But, everything I did at that time was. And he came over, and then we went off-roading in his Jeep, and I was like, he was drunker than I was, I think. So I said, "You want me to drive?" And he's like, "Oh, your car would never make it there," which should have been alarming to begin with. But I thought, "Oh, what the hell? I just need to live, or something. I don't know."
Right.
It was a phase of my life where I was kind of going against my instincts.
You
on
were in
lot
a punk
of
band,
things.
so I mean, that's people in punk bands are.
Well, it wasn't yelly punk though. It was punk more in that we weren't that good.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, maybe that's not fair. It was kind of old school punk.
Yeah.
Not like I don't know.
But this was your phase. This was your phase of trying things out.
Yes, exactly. Of thinking I'm tired of being timid and conscientious and really sensible. So I was being the opposite of
Throw
all
caution
of
to
that.
the wind, see what happens.
Yes, exactly. So we went off-roading in his Jeep, and it was
It's a
at
good
a
first
certain
date,
point.
you have to admit.
I don't know. I know that at a certain point, I was like, I am so not having fun anymore. I'm scared to death. I want to go home. Like, we're in a canyon. No one can hear me scream. I don't know this person. We're drunk. And I'm afraid the Jeep is going to roll off the hill. And he was like, God, you're not even having fun. Or he just kept almost mocking, no sensitivity to my fear, which was making it worse, actually.
Yeah.
But then, the date continued. We went back to I was house sitting at my parents' house at the time. They were out of the country, which somehow made me feel even more guilty that I was taking such liberties with my safety because they're very overprotective. I mean,
Yeah.
I was already out of the house at this point, but still.
You were house sitting their house.
Yeah. And their dog. So then we were sitting there, and that's when I saw his tattoos. And there was one that was like this, it looked like a plus sign in a circle. And I said, "Oh, what is that?" And he said, "That's my Celtic cross, because he has pride in his heritage or something." And then his other one was, I think it was either the death's head or the tigers. I mean, I ended up doing a lot of research afterwards to find out what all of this stuff was. But then the next date where things got worse a lot faster, he had like a giant Confederate flag, and he had a lot of skinhead music and iron crosses and things. And he had said that
There was a black
used
guy
to,
being dragged along the back of the.
I thought it was a weird decor,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He said that he used to, quote, run with the skins, but he wasn't anymore. But did you Heil Hitler? Well, I mean, I raised my arm. And then he had like guns in a gun locker, AK-47s, and he's like, "Look at you, you're so scared, you won't even touch it," the gun. And he showed me secret things on a dollar bill, and he was against the NRA because the whole thing, the NRA, you know what they do, right? They make a list of everyone who has guns. And I was like, the NRA is too liberal for you? Right. And then he showed me this path that he had, like, macheted in the canyon behind his house, in case the shit goes down.
Yeah.
He was a survivalist.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, I still don't know what the hell he was. Like, I still don't know what all that was. It was crazy.
I think it's safe to assume he did not vote for Obama yesterday.
No, I think he was in Iraq. That last I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This was before 9/11. So all of this was even crazier.
Yeah, you guys had a pre-9/11 mentality that was coloring all of this.
Well, I did. The weird thing is that I feel like after 9/11, if you were to meet someone who was saying everything he was saying, it would be a little more like, oh, at least there's more of a frame of reference for someone to be this crazy. Yeah, right. But this is before that.
Right.
So anyway, what a nut. Okay.
I'm glad things didn't work out.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I remember, but we did talk on the phone after that, and I was just sort of just trying to understand stuff, and he's like, God, like, you're so sheltered. You just want to put me in a little box. Well, you can't put me in a box. I'm about fun and positivity. So why don't you think about whether you're about that and then call me back if you are.
It sounds like he was never really that nice to you either. I mean...
No, the second date, I got lost trying to find his bunker in the woods, and did he not have a cell phone? Maybe you couldn't get reception out there. I don't know. He had to leave his bunker. It wasn't really a bunker. He was a stable boy. It's very Avon romance. He had to leave his little place to go open some gate to let me in or something, and I was lost. So he was at the gate for a while, and when I finally got in touch with him, he's like, he was all upset because he had been waiting there for so long, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry I got lost, thinking there would be some sort of like, oh, I'm sorry
Right.
You were lost
Right.
on these like crazy switchback trails. Are you okay? Instead, he was just really upset. He's like, he said, he's like, I'm not the kind of person who normally gets angry, but I'm angry. And I was thinking, there's a red flag flapping in my face.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? He's like, turn your butt around and go home. And I was like, okay. He's like, no, I'm just kidding. Like, I should have turned my butt around and gone home at that point, because the first date was scary, but I was getting along with him.
Yeah.
But the second one was totally different. The whole thing, I mean, I'm lucky. The whole thing was weird.
Yeah. Stable boy sounds more like unstable boy. Am I right?
Nice. That's good. That was an AMIRITE.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
But then I met this guy who knew him, and I was asking that guy, like, what is the deal with this guy, And
he's misunderstood.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. He always seems like he seemed like a nice guy to me. I never knew what his tattoos were. That's the weird thing, is that he wasn't, in no way was he he wasn't your father's skinhead.
He sounds like a guy who just is
Very
a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he has good qualities, but is just really confused, and like lots of issues in there.
Yeah.
And lots
I
of
think
like
he was looking for a sense of belonging.
Like he was really insensitive to feminine, any kind of like
Right.
feminine issue or any kind of like thing of,
Yes.
your fear. It's all about fear and
Right.
and discipline and weird.
Right.
Things,
Now that I remember, his ex-girlfriend had been really into the scene, I think.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to like indoctrinate. Like, is she ready to run with the skins? And you obviously weren't.
I don't
you're
think
Jewish.
I would, yeah, I wouldn't think I would be accepted by them.
Yeah.
It was all very, very, very weird.
That period's over now, Allison.
I know.
It's all over.
But no,
You're
it's
okay now.
not. It was not that guy who had his car stolen. It was the current non-white pride boyfriend.
As far as you know.
As far as I know. It's true. Okay. Damian Burns. No, we already did that one. He parks next to nice cars. You're with Anne. When the vending machine accidentally gives me 2 bags of Cheez-Its for the price of 1, I feel like I've won the lottery. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say I feel like I won the lottery, but it's always a pleasant surprise.
It is.
But canceled out by when you put your money in and you don't get your anything. And I worked
Which happens just as often.
It does, more often. I worked in the kind of workplace, when I lived in New York, where people would leave a little Post-it note on the vending machine saying, I put in my money for a Coke Zero, and I did not get it. So the next person who gets 2 of them, please come find me.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, it was that kind of place.
It's like Dilbert.
Yeah, it was very much. Or there's this website called what is it? It's like passive aggressive notes or something. I forget what it is, but they have just a collection of those kind of notes. Yeah.
Didn't they know they could just come be a guest on this podcast and get a free Coke Zero?
They didn't know. We keep that pretty quiet. Yeah.
You can edit this out. You can edit that when we're talking about the free Coke Zeros.
Right, because I don't want the word to get out.
Yeah.
So do you want to play a song?
I'd love to play a song.
Okay. What song are we going to be hearing?
Well, I'll give you a choice. We talked
Ooh,
about
good.
Taylor Swift earlier. I have a song about Taylor Swift. We all know she's been in the news lately. She broke up with the
Connor
Kennedy
Kennedy
boy,
or whatever,
which,
yeah.
Didn't see that one coming.
No.
I have a song about Ed Hardy shirts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I also have a song called "I Wish I Was Gay." You hear a lot of dudes, you know, who want to have sex a lot, straight guys. You'll sometimes hear them say, like, "I wish I was gay." You know, those gay guys. You just walk into a gay bar and there's like a guy sucking your dick within 15 seconds. You're making out with another guy. It's like, why can't I just do that with girls? You know, like in a way, we all straight guys kind of wish they were gay, and I kind of take that one step, 10 steps further.
It's interesting because I really haven't heard that many guys who are straight say they wish they were gay. Maybe I hang out with a lot of homophobic guys.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think it's like I wish I was gay. It's more like a. It would be nice if women
We're as into sex as
interacted
guys
sexually
are.
the way gay guys
right.
interact with each other
Right.
sexually.
Let's hear that one.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Oh, thank you. Wow, this is perfect. Me. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wish I was gay. I wish I was gay. 'Cause I would like to have sex with other men. I wish I was gay. I wish I was gay. 'Cause I would love to feel another man's penis in my butt. I am sexually attracted to other men. Too bad I'm not gay. I find female women repulsive physically. Too bad I'm not gay, it's too bad. I even got the hots for your dad. And this dude named Brad. Oh, I really wish I was gay. Ladies and gentlemen, the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir. Good job, guys. Every time I'm in a bathhouse and I see dicks, my own dick gets hard. And when I'm coming in another man's mouth, I'm thinking, I wish I was gay. If I was gay, I'd totally be glad to be gay. 'Cause I would love to have the tips of 2 dicks in my ears. That's what they do, right? I don't know. And I would love to have a strained relationship with my dad. You know, the older generation, they don't really get it. I would love to get legally married at some point during Obama's second term, when it's politically safe for him to legalize it. Gay, gay, gay. Thank you.
That was hilarious.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
My favorite part might be the 2 dicks in your ears.
I mean, I have no idea what they do, those people.
Right.
So that might be it. I don't know. I just want to try it. I want to go through the phase like you did, where you try new things, you know, just getting outside my comfort zone.
Although I never did try the same-sex thing.
You never did.
No, and I feel like maybe the people who were in college after me, no, even in my time, I felt like there was a little bit of pressure to, if you're really open-minded
Right.
and stuff, you will try that. And I just never really had the desire to. I mean, I think I was probably, at that point, even more than now, repressed. So, I was still like, I don't even know how I feel about straight sex. So
you're just not attracted to women?
No, I'm not. And not in any real world way. Like I think if I were fantasizing or if I were I don't regularly watch porn. I don't know of any women who regularly do. And when they say they do, I always think
you're just saying that.
That's the porn equivalent of you're making out with your girlfriend in a bar in front of dudes,
Right.
But yeah, so in no way I'm not repulsed by it or anything. It's just not anything I ever would like want to make happen in real life.
Right.
You, dudes?
No, I mean, when I lived in San Francisco, I mean, there was definitely a time where I was like, when I was like probably 20, I went down to a place called the Gay Woods, which is in San Francisco.
Is that a bar or a part of town?
It's a part of the Golden Gate Park where like all the pickups go. And I was just basically like, I just got really drunk. And I'm like, I feel like I should try to have some kind of gay experience. And I was just like so not into it. And I was like, basically like I got in a car with a guy and I was like, basically, I mean, I was so drunk, but I was basically like, how about we go to your house and I will masturbate while watching porn, straight porn, and you can watch. And but then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't need this experience. I don't need this.
So you were doing it just to...
jive. I was doing it just to be like, I'm a libertine, man.
Right, that's what I'm saying. People were doing that in my time, too. So you didn't do it. You couldn't go through with it.
I couldn't even go that far with it. I mean, but I'm like the least... I mean, I love gay people, I mean, they're sick perverts, but I mean...
Yeah, they're going to hell, but...
Yeah, they're going to hell, but
right.
while they're here, let's enjoy it. You know? No, I mean, I think gayness is great. I would love to have a gay kid even because I feel like so many gay kids have these parents who make their lives miserable.
Oh, right.
And I'm just like, if I had a gay kid, my wife and I are both this way. If we had a gay kid, we would totally embrace it. Like, awesome.
Yeah.
You're gay. That's great. Cool.
You won't get one then.
I don't think so.
You want it too bad.
My kids are both so showing early signs of straightness. Early onset straightness.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
How does it manifest?
My daughter's obsessed with Princess and Pink and Barbie and
if only it was
she already
flipped.
loves boys. She already loves boys.
Yeah.
And my son is just like a monster and just destruction.
Right. You should be able to, because there are so many gay kids who aren't accepted by their parents.
Right.
You should be able to trade.
I know we should try. We should have there should be like this fantasy football. There should be like
fantasy family league.
Fantasy family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Eli, this has been delightful. Thank you so much for coming by and for entertaining us and for letting me probe your emotional scars.
That was really tough. I was surprised. You got in deep, and it was.
I do that.
I wonder who will be interested in hearing Eli Braden talk. I'm not a celebrity.
I know. I'm wondering too.
Yeah, maybe you guys should just delete this podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe you should put this on as a bonus episode.
I haven't been recording this.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank God.
This is just sound check. No, people will be interested. I think it's interesting. You know what? We haven't talked that much about divorce from the perspective of someone who is kind of dealing with it.
Really?
So, yeah. So I think this will be very fascinating for people. And I think that people know who you are.
They do now.
That's right.
They know way too much.
Put you on the map.
Yeah.
Okay, so if people want to find you, where should they go?
EliBraden.com. I've got tour dates. I've got...
When you do comedy, is it songs or do you do
stand-up? It's mostly songs.
As well?
I'm starting to introduce some stand-up because it's just people are like, oh, you only do songs, especially because a lot of people come see me. They know me through Twitter and they're like, oh, I thought you were gonna do jokes and stuff. I'm starting to put jokes into it, but my when I first got into doing, I'd been performing for years, but like when I first started doing comedy live, I was kind of like, there's these people who've been doing stand-up for years and years and years, and it's. I sort of felt like I'm going to do something else. I'm not going to try to infringe on this thing these people have mastered. I'm really good at music. I'm going to do comedy music. That'll be what I do. But I do exclusively play in comedy clubs. It would be nice if I had like some stand-up material. So I do have some good jokes.
It's interesting that reaction to stand-up because I did a little bit of stand-up. There is something daunting when you realize, like, oh, if you're going to be a stand-up, like there is a whole protocol here.
Yes.
And I don't know that I want to do open mic nights and all this stuff that apparently you have to do to be respected in that world.
Right.
So.
At the same time, like Ricky Gervais, obviously he's brilliantly talented. He gets up. He's never done stand-up. He gets up like oh, I'm going to do Madison Square Garden, and he gets up and he's awesome and he kills, and you can't really fault him for that. I mean, I
Well,
think
even Adam Carolla, who's doing stand-up now,
Exactly.
he came to it.
Adam had done it when he was younger to some extent, hadn't
No,
he?
he had done improv.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, Gary?
He did a few open mics, but he never actually
Yeah.
got to being an actual stand-up.
Right.
Yeah.
And even still, his
And his
stand-up
stand-up
is
is unconventional.
him.
Yeah, it's not like the tight 5 or whatever.
Right.
Whatever the term is.
It's
I
more
think
like the tight hour. The tight
It's a
hour.
loose hour, I'd say.
The
yeah.
loose hour,
It's
yeah.
a drunken loose hour, but it's very entertaining.
Very.
All right, and they can follow you on Twitter at Eli
Yeah,
Braden.
ELIBRADEN. Yes.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Alison Rosen. You can follow the show's Twitter feed at ARIYNBF. You can follow Gary at...
I'm giving mine up to Eli Braden. He's one of my favorite people to follow. So
Are you serious?
Skip
Oh, wow,
me.
thank you.
Follow Eli Braden. He's
Yeah,
fucking hilarious.
I only throw you in there just out of pity, I guess.
I know you do, but this week I'm foregoing it. Eli Braden. That's
Oh,
where, that's
thank you
where
so
to be.
much.
Yeah.
And when will this drop? Because I'm hoping to be on Match.com by the time this drops. I'm just kidding.
It'll probably be a few weeks. Are you really going to?
I'm not going to.
Are you going to do OK Cupid or whatever?
I'm not going to do anything. Maybe
Or Plenty of
J-Date.
Fish.
Maybe J-Date, because I'm kind of into Jewish chicks.
Well, all right then. I feel so uncomfortable. Even though I don't know. I don't know if that was
staring
directed.
at
I
you.
know it's creepy.
No, I'm trying to creep you out a little bit.
It's working. Congratulations. All right. And you guys, if you're going to buy something on Amazon, which you are because they have everything, just today I was looking for shower curtains on Amazon.
Really?
That's how much they have everything.
Wow. Can I suggest something on Amazon?
Sure.
Peter Serafinowicz, do you know who he is?
I know that name.
He's a British comedian, brilliant. Like people throw on the word brilliant a lot. Brilliant. He has a book on Amazon called A Billion Jokes that I could not recommend higher. I can't.
Is it a bunch of jokes?
I
or
haven't
is
even
it a
read
book
it yet, but
book?
I can't recommend it higher because I know everything he does is great. My copy's on its way, but check him out.
But I mean, is it like a book of jokes?
I don't even know what it is.
Okay, because I could get behind that. Like, truly, did you read Truly Tasteless Jokes when you were a kid?
No.
Okay, then never mind. But you should buy both of those books on Amazon. And click through the banner on my website at AlisonRosen.com because it doesn't cost you anything extra and it helps out the show. Okay, great. Also, check out a special bonus episode of this show, Alison Rosen, Your New Best Friend, live from LA Pod Fest with guests Doug Benson and Greg Proops. You can get that in the comedy album section of iTunes. Gary, am I forgetting anything? All right, thank you again, Eli Braden.
My
this
pleasure.
was really
Thank you.
fun. I feel less creeped out now. Let's keep it that way. All right, I love you guys, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Thank you for choosing the Alison Rosen show. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. That's right. That's right. Those good times don't seem to end. That's right. That's right. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen show? We had a good time, but now it's time to go. Hope to see you next time for the Alison Rosen show. Yeah! Yeah, Alison Rosen is your new best friend.
This is Corolla Digital.